The breakthrough DR. Sarah Chen pressed her palm against the cold glass of the observation window, watching the quantum field generators hum to life in the chamber below. The underground research facility in New Geneva buzzed with nervous energy. After 15 years of theoretical work and 3 years of failed experiments, today felt different. Today, the equations that had consumed her life might finally become reality. Field stability at 92% and climbing, announced Dr. Elena Vasquez from her position at the quantum mathematics station. Her fingers danced across holographic displays showing mathematical formulas that would have made Einstein weep with joy. Elena had joined the project 5 years ago, bringing with her a revolutionary understanding of quantum fabric manipulation that had changed everything. Marcus Rodriguez wiped sweat from his forehead despite the facility's climate control. As chief engineer, he had built the impossible machine that filled the chamber below. The quantum tier protocol drive was his masterpiece, a collection of crystalline matrices and exotic matter containment fields that could theoretically punch holes through the fabric of space-time itself. Power coupling stable at maximum output, he reported, his voice steady despite the magnitude of what they were attempting. General William Hayes stood behind them, his military bearing unmistakable, even in civilian clothes. The project had been classified at the highest levels, hidden from the public and most of the government. Only a handful of people knew that humanity was about to take its first real step toward the stars. Dr. Chen, are you certain about this? He asked, his weathered face showing both excitement and concern. Sarah turned from the window, her dark eyes reflecting the blue glow of the quantum field. General, we've run every simulation possible. The mathematics are solid. We can create controlled tiers in space-time that allow instantaneous transportation across vast distances. No time dilation, no relativistic effects. Pure point-to-point travel. The first test subject was a simple steel sphere, no bigger than a marble. It sat in the center of the chamber, surrounded by the most advanced technology humanity had ever created. Sarah had chosen it because steel was common, easily detectable, and would show any signs of quantum degradation after transport. Initiating quantum field resonance, Elena announced. The chamber filled with a soft purple light as exotic particles began to dance around the steel sphere. The air itself seemed to shimmer and bend, creating patterns that hurt to look at directly. Marcus monitored the power systems as massive amounts of energy flowed through the quantum generators. Field coherence at maximum, ready for tier initiation. Sarah took a deep breath. Begin quantum tier sequence. The chamber exploded with light. Not the harsh white light of an explosion, but something deeper, more fundamental. The very fabric of space-time began to fold and twist around the steel sphere. Reality bent like heated metal, creating a wound in the universe itself. Through the tear, they could see another part of the facility, exactly 10 meters away. The view was crystal clear, as if they were looking through a window rather than a hole in space itself. The steel sphere moved forward, not traveling through space, but simply stepping from one location to another. Transport complete, Elena breathed, her voice filled with wonder. The sphere has successfully traversed the quantum tier. Marcus checked his instruments. No energy degradation in the sphere, no structural damage. It's as if it was never moved at all. They had done it. Humanity had achieved faster-than-light travel, not by going faster than light, but by bypassing the concept of speed entirely. The implications were staggering. Over the following weeks, they scaled up their experiments. Larger objects, greater distances, more complex transport scenarios. Each test was a complete success. The quantum tear drive worked exactly as Sarah's equations predicted. The breakthrough came when they realized they could create stable tears large enough for spacecraft. The UES Prometheus, humanity's first interstellar vessel, was constructed in orbit around Earth. It was a beautiful ship, sleek and powerful. Equipped with the most advanced quantum tear drive ever built, Captain Sofia Torres had been chosen to command the maiden voyage. She was a veteran space pilot with 20 years of experience in the solar system. Her crew of 50 represented the best of humanity, scientists and explorers ready to carry their species to the stars. All systems green, Captain Torres reported. From the Prometheus bridge, quantum tear drive shows full readiness. Sarah watched from mission control on Earth, her heart pounding with anticipation. Target destination is Proxima Centauri, approximately 4 light-years from Earth. Estimated transit time is instantaneous. The Prometheus activated its quantum tear drive. Space around the ship began to fold and twist, creating a wound in reality large enough to swallow a city. Through the tear, they could see the red glow of Proxima Centauri, its alien light calling to them across the cosmic void. Initiating transit, Captain Torres announced. The Prometheus moved forward, disappearing into the quantum tear like a ship sailing into fog. The wound in space-time sealed itself with a sound like thunder, leaving only empty space where humanity's first interstellar vessel had been. 6 hours later, the Prometheus returned with stunning news. They had successfully reached Proxima Centauri, conducted detailed surveys of the system, and returned without incident. Humanity was no longer confined to a single star system, but something else had happened during their journey, something none of them could have predicted. The quantum tear had not simply opened and closed cleanly. It had sent ripples through the fabric of space-time itself, disturbances that propagated outward at speeds far beyond light. On a monitoring station orbiting a distant star, an alien scientist noticed unusual readings on her instruments. The gravitational wave detectors were picking up patterns she had never seen before, massive distortions in space-time that seemed to originate from a small yellow star on the edge of the galaxy. Her name was Zixthera, and she belonged to a species called the Ethereal Collective. They were ancient beings who had been monitoring the galaxy for signs of dangerous technology for over 1 million years. The readings she was seeing terrified her. By the eternal void, she whispered in her musical language, someone has torn holes in the quantum substrate. The damage is spreading. Zixthara immediately transmitted her findings to the Galactic Council, the governing body that maintained peace and stability across thousands of star systems. The message was marked with the highest priority codes, indicating a threat to galactic civilization itself. Meanwhile, on Earth, Sarah and her team celebrated their success. They had no idea that their breakthrough had sent shockwaves through the entire galaxy. The quantum tears they created so icily were not the clean, harmless portals they appeared to be. Each one left microscopic fractures in the fundamental structure of reality, damage that accumulated with every use. General Hayes approved the construction of a fleet of interstellar vessels, each equipped with quantum tear drives. Humanity was ready to spread across the galaxy to claim their place among the stars. The age of human expansion was about to begin. But in the depths of space, ancient civilizations were mobilizing. The Galactic Council had faced many threats over the millennia, but none quite like this. A young species had developed technology that could unravel the very fabric of existence, and they were using it with the enthusiasm of children playing with fire. The quantum tears that seemed so perfect to human eyes were actually wounds that would never fully heal. Each use made them worse, creating a cascade effect that could eventually tear apart entire star systems. The humans had invented a form of faster-than-light travel so dangerous that it threatened everything in the galaxy. As Sarah stood in her laboratory, looking at the plans for humanity's interstellar expansion, she had no idea that representatives of 1,000 alien civilizations were already discussing what to do about her species. The quantum tear drive was humanity's greatest achievement, but it might also be their doom. The galaxy was watching, and it was afraid. The Galactic Response High Counselor Vexnari stood before the assembled representatives of the Galactic Council, her crystalline form refracting the light of 1,000 stars visible through the council chamber's transparent walls. The chamber itself was a marvel of engineering, a massive structure that existed in folded space, allowing beings from across the galaxy to gather without the limitations of physical distance. Representatives of the Council, Vexnari began, her voice carrying the weight of authority earned over 3,000 years of service. We face a crisis unlike any in our recorded history. The species designation Southri, whom we now know call themselves humans, have developed technology that threatens the structural integrity of our galaxy. The chamber erupted in concerned murmurs from the assembled aliens. The Galactic Council represented over 2,000 civilizations, each with their own understanding of physics and space-time manipulation. But what the humans had done was beyond anything they had encountered. Ambassador Zixthara stepped forward, her ethereal form shimmering with anxiety. Honored Council, I have personally observed the quantum disturbances created by human technology. In just 3 months, they have created over 50 major tears in the quantum substrate. The damage is accumulating at an exponential rate. A massive reptilian delegate from the Saurian hegemony raised one of his clawed hands. What exactly are these quantum tears, and why should we be concerned? Many species have developed faster-than-light travel. Zixthara activated a holographic display showing the region around Earth. The display revealed something horrifying, spreading outward from Sol system like cracks in glass where hairline fractures in space-time itself. Traditional FTL technology works with the natural properties of the universe. Warp fields, hyperspace jumps, dimensional folding. All of these methods respect the fundamental laws of physics. She manipulated the display, zooming in on one of the fractures. The humans are not working with these laws. They are breaking them. Each quantum tear creates permanent damage to the fabric of space-time. These fractures weaken the boundary between dimensions, and they are spreading. The council chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Dr. Kethfer, the premier physicist of the Cerebral Dominion, spoke with his characteristic analytical precision. What would happen if these fractures reached critical mass? Complete dimensional collapse, Zixthara replied grimly. The barriers between realities would fail. Our universe would be consumed by the void between dimensions. Everything we know, everything we have built, would simply cease to exist. High Counselor Vexnari raised her hand for silence. The humans are not malicious. Our intelligence suggests they are unaware of the damage they are causing. They see only the immediate benefits of their technology, instantaneous travel across vast distances. They do not understand that they are essentially playing with the fundamental forces that hold reality together. An insectoid delegate from the Hive Collective clicked his mandibles thoughtfully. Have we attempted to contact them? Perhaps they would cease their experiments if they understood the consequences. That is precisely what we intend to do, Vexenari replied. Ambassador Zeixter, you have studied their species most extensively. You will make first contact and attempt to negotiate a cessation of their quantum tier experiments. Back on Earth, Sarah Chen was reviewing the latest test results from the Prometheus missions. The quantum tier drive had performed flawlessly on 12 separate interstellar journeys. Plans were already underway for the construction of a permanent base in the Proxima Centauri system. Dr. Chen, Marcus called from his engineering station. We're detecting some unusual readings from the quantum field generators. Nothing dangerous, just ... strange. Sarah walked over to examine the data. The readings showed minor fluctuations in the quantum substrate around Earth, almost like echoes of their previous experiments. It's probably just residual field effects, she said dismissively. The quantum tiers are designed to be completely self-contained. What she didn't know was that those residual effects were the very fractures that had the entire galaxy on high alert. The quantum tiers weren't self-contained at all. They were leaving permanent scars on the fabric of space. Time. Captain. Torres was preparing for another mission when the alarms started sounding throughout the facility. Control, this is Torres. What's the situation? Captain, we have an unidentified vessel approaching Earth, came the reply from Mission Control. It's unlike anything in our databases. The ship appears to be ... translucent. The vessel that emerged from the void was beautiful beyond description. It seemed to be made of crystallized light, its surface shifting between transparency and opacity, like living glass. It was massive, easily the size of a city, but it moved with the grace of a dancer. General Hayes was immediately notified. Sir, the vessel is broadcasting on multiple frequencies. The message is complex, but our computers are working on translation. Within hours, linguists and computer specialists had decoded enough of the message to understand its basic meaning. The aliens were requesting a meeting with the creators of Earth's faster-than-light technology. They claimed to represent something called the Galactic Council. Sarah found herself face-to-face with Ambassador Zixthera in a hastily constructed meeting room. The alien was unlike anything she had imagined, a being of pure energy, barely contained within a humanoid form, her features shifting like aurora in the night sky. Dr. Chen, Zixthera began, her voice carrying harmonics that seemed to resonate directly in Sarah's mind. Your species has achieved something remarkable. You have created a form of faster-than-light travel that surpasses anything we have seen. In 1,000,000 years of galactic civilization, Sarah felt a surge of pride. Thank you, Ambassador. We're excited to share our discovery with the galaxy. Zixthera's form flickered with what might have been sadness. I am afraid that is not why. I am here. Your quantum tier technology, while impressive, is causing damage to the fundamental structure of space-time. Each use creates fractures that are spreading throughout the galaxy. That's impossible, Sarah protested. Our calculations show that the quantum tiers are completely stable. They open, allow passage, and close without any permanent effects. Your calculations are correct within the limited scope of your observations, Zixthera replied patiently. However, you are not accounting for the multidimensional nature of space-time. The tiers you create extend through multiple layers of reality. When they close, they leave microscopic fractures that accumulate over time. She produced a device that projected a three-dimensional map of the local galaxy. Sarah gasped as she saw the spreading network of fractures emanating from Earth like a virus through the cosmic structure. By the eternal void, Zixthera continued. If your species continues to use this technology, you will eventually cause a cascade failure that could destroy our entire galaxy. Trillions of beings across thousands of worlds would perish. Sarah stared at the projection, her mind racing. There has to be a way to fix this, to seal the fractures or modify the technology to prevent the damage. The Galactic Council's greatest scientists have been studying your quantum tears for months, Zixera said. The damage appears to be permanent. The fractures cannot be sealed, and they will continue to spread and weaken until dimensional collapse occurs. The weight of the revelation crashed down on Sarah, her greatest achievement. The technology that was supposed to carry humanity to the stars was actually a weapon of mass destruction that threatened the entire galaxy. "What are you asking us to do?" she whispered. "The Galactic Council requests that humanity immediately cease all use of quantum tier technology. Your existing fleet must be decommissioned, and all research into this field must be abandoned. In exchange, we offer to share conventional faster-than technology that will allow your species to join the galactic community without causing further damage." Sarah looked around the room at her teammates, seeing the same mixture of shock and devastation in their faces. They had worked their entire lives to achieve this breakthrough, and now they were being told it was too dangerous to use. "And if we refuse?" General Hayes asked quietly. Zixara's form darkened. "Then the Galactic Council will have no choice but to quarantine your solar system. Your species will be prevented from leaving this star system by any means necessary until the technology is abandoned." The ultimatum hung in the air like a physical presence. Humanity faced a choice that would define their future among the stars. They could abandon their greatest achievement and accept the limitations of conventional technology, or they could defy the galaxy and risk everything in pursuit of their quantum dreams. Sarah closed her eyes, feeling the weight of an entire species, destiny resting on her shoulders. The quantum tear drive was her life's work, but it was also a threat to trillions of innocent lives. The choice should have been simple, but she knew that humanity had never been good at accepting limitations. The galaxy was watching, and waiting to see what the humans would decide. Asterisk.